Microphone. Microphone. Testing my microphone. Microphone. I want it to be close, but I need to see what I'm drawing. I gotta see past my microphone. That seems close enough. Check 1, 2. See how this works. Music seems too low or too high. I can't decide. All right, crank that up by accident. Put that back down. All right, if we get it around here. Around here. Okay, I can hear it there. And then we crank this up a little bit. Adjusting the background music. Adjusting the background music today. What if I get this loud? Okay, let's pull this down. You gotta make adjustments. Do. Why is this weird? Can I shrink this? Nope. Can make it bigger, but I can't make it smaller. That's fine. That's fine. What are these settings here? Can I make them disappear? They're probably fine. Everything's divine. It's Christmas time in the city. Oh, this is so weird. Everything's in a different place. Okay, I have to move over here. Oh, you're not doing this again. Alright, you stay right there. Stay right there. Don't move. Alright. Okay. Alright. Microphone? Microphone. Can't decide if I need to crank this up more or not. Should have did some more testing, but this was a day of testing. It very much tested me. But it will not have bested me. Hope the music's going out as well, or I sound more crazy. All right. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, for the love of fun. All right, this will be fine. This will be fine. It's gonna not move. Yasmira, it's only the morning. It's 7 o'clock at night here. Good morning. Yasmira and... I thought that was some snow falling on a fox, but... those seem to be musical notes. And Laser Sharks knows the level of craziness. Laser Sharks is here? Should we get started? If Laser Sharks and Yasmira are here, then I should be on screen by now. I better be on screen now. Yeah, and saying things, because this is my time to shine. It's almost Christmas time, and I need all of the time available for me to shine. I am like a glistening ball on a tree, shining for all to see. You know, just like that song in that movie about that elf guy that was like a tall elf. You know what I'm talking about. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Meow, 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 meow. Yes, Ripley. Let's just get started. Not because Milo said so. Not just because I said so, because you said so, but not because Milo said so. Yeah, everything. Let's do everything because I said so. Because I said so, and that's how things should roll. That's how things should roll. These dice are getting thrown, and they're coming up sixes. Are sixes good? In this case, they're good because I need double sixes to get a jail-free card. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right, once again, it's the ongoing, and I'm looking not at the camera, the ongoing changes to the stream, always trying to fix everything in the background. I don't know if we're going to start dropping frames or freezing again. If we do, I do know the fix, but yeah, in theory, I pressed all the things and reset all the stuff, so everything should be just playing smoothly. Everything should be cool. And nothing should be weird. There should be no reason to spend all of this stream messing with settings. Even though that's how I spent my whole day, pretty much all day. It's been 1,000 minor points of chaos since yesterday. And I'm just like, all right, everything's finally under control. And I kind of can't wait to get to work tomorrow to get back to what was all over the place today. But anyway, maybe we'll talk more about that on the Streamlabs stream on Friday. Where's my pen? So, stories of the week. Stories of the week. The week has just started, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. For the meek of the world, there's always a story of the week. But I took out the lights that were on the floor, and, you know, one of them was already broken. So then I got some dollar store lights that are colored, like one of those little light bars. And, you know, the economy is falling apart, so they weren't $1 or even $2. They were like $5 at the dollar store because everything's $1 million now. And then I got two phone holders on like a bendy thing, and that like clamps onto stuff. Drilled the clamp part into the window frame above the windows, clamped the light onto that, and then ran some USB extension cords down to the plugs. So they're not super bright, but they're just bright enough. And I'm afraid to move the camera, but then over on my shelf, I reorganized my shelf. Microphone is in the way. You can still hear me? Probably just barely. But then I put some lights above He-Man and some lights above the Nintendo and whatnot stuff over there. So you shouldn't have done that. Now I don't know. Now I don't know where it goes. Milo, you're too close. Don't stand so. Don't stand so. Don't stand so close to me. Alright, so today's comic strip idea is also what we're going to complain about. We're going to complain about two things today. Exactly. I remember when the dollar store first came to existence, and our first dollar store that we had in town was the $1-2-3 store. And it's just like, and everything still went up to like $20. I'm just like, this is the beginning days, guys. And then I saw the Dollarama for the first time. I'm like, everything in here is $1. Everything in here is $1. Like, that seems crazy. Like, nope, everything is 100% $1. And then for a few years it was. And now, since I bought a bunch of stuff for $5, it's $5. So anyway, I'm gonna do. I think this one has to be 3 panels. Do we have any 3 panels that I can? Yeah, let's grab this one. Oh, there's so many. There's so many comics here I did not finish. I didn't finish last week's comic, and I'm not going to today. But I will eventually. Okay, boxes. That's text. Boxes layer. Copy. Drag this over here. Where'd it go? Doesn't matter. Where is this? On the text layer. Let's move this over. F7, F7 to create some new layers. Hopefully I'm talking into this microphone close enough. I definitely keep moving away. Alright, I'm going to start drawing the thing and then I'll talk about it, but first I'm going to complain about not what this is about. Title. Let's call this AI Nonsense. That's not how you spell nonsense. C-N-C-E? No. S-E? I don't know how to spell. I spell check everything later if I remember, or else I look like a fool and then delete it. So I'm gonna go down to the rough layer and start roughing out what me and Milo are gonna be doing. Oops, almost knocked over my juice. So in this week's series of unfortunate annoyances, in order to get my car legally inspected, I had to get a bunch of welding done on the underside of the car. And is this blocking the light now? It is. So I dropped off the car last week, and the guy was like, "You're not in any hurry, right?" And I'm like, technically, no. Technically, I don't actually need my car until I drive home for Christmas, but I do have 1,000 other things to do. So no big deal. I was like, "Yep, take your time." And then guy started telling me, basically a bunch of personal stuff out of nowhere, which is like, "Oh, things are so expensive," and blah, blah, blah. Yep, I know. And this is after he told me the price of what it's going to cost to fix my car. Then it's just like, I had to, so I'm behind on things because I overbooked because I can't pay my bills right now. Like, oh, God. That's bananas. I mean, it's not bananas. It's obvious. It's what everybody's going through. So he tells me all this stuff about all the different ways he can't pay his bills, all the different bills that he can't pay, all the other things that's going on, and then drifts into and my wife is doing all this stuff, just I don't need to know about your wife. But what kind of set me off for that was, she's got her own business, and she's doing this, this, and that. And then at the end of the week, I'm like, well, you can't. You got to change this and that. You should just do what I say. But instead of listening to me, the guy who's always right, she comes to me at the end of the week, with her hands out looking for more money, which I don't even really have or whatever. But, why wouldn't you just listen? If I'm always right. I am the man and I'm always right. If she just listened, her life would be better. And I'm just in my head losing my mind, where just it's that sentence right there. It's if you just listen to me, who is always right, then, you would basically start. It's just as soon as somebody says that to me, I'm just oh, cool. Well, guess what I'm going to do? Anything else that comes into my head. I'm sorry, if you think you're always right, then that means that I also think I am always right, and I'm going to do my thing just to prove that my way also works in the way I want to, and or I don't want to lower myself or re-shift myself into your gear, into your avenue, into your direction of how to get this thing done. This is still my thing, and I'd like to do it my way. The thing, what it's like to be always right, is to actually be mostly wrong and just be a jerk about it. That's pretty much what that means. Excuse me? I mean, really, if I could answer that, because I am, in fact, always right. Let me cat's play this to you, all right? Let me mouse play this. As a person, as an entity, as a being who is just always right about everything and never needs to be corrected. If I make up a word, that is just a new word. It's not an incorrect word. People just need to learn to get up to speed with me. They're just too slow. They're just behind, and I mean, come on, guys. I'm not here to be kind. I'm here to be right. So, yes, sometimes I come across as a jerk. I come across as mean. But it is in the interest of everybody else. It's to make your life better. Yes, I'm unbearable. Yes, I'm a horrible, horrible thing. Yes, I would hurt you and cut you if that's what it required to make your life better. And it's that. It's like that. That's what it's like to be right all the time. It's, it's a chore for me, but I take on that burden. And, if I'm upset a lot of the time, then yes, I will take it out on everybody and I'll be a big jerk. But I'm right. So it's fine. It's like how politicians are like, yes, I'm poisoning your drinking water, but it's because I'm right about something else. So everybody wins, you see? That couldn't be more wrong. That's just, yes, that is right. That's what it's like to be always right all the time. It makes you a bit of a maniac. Oh god, yes, laser sharks. That's 100% what it is. Oh, a little flying emote. Yasmira, wait. Unrelated, but I thought it was funny. I'm getting my last wisdom tooth removed next month, and went to the consult appointment this afternoon, and they gave me the list of foods I can eat for the few days after while I'm healing. And the first thing on the list is Krispy Kreme donuts specifically. What? I can't remember what they told me I could eat when I got my wisdom teeth out. Or wisdom tooth? No, I got a couple out. I feel like it was just like, just some liquid for like a day. And then after that, it's like, yeah, just soft things and stuff. Which, technically donuts fall into. But it's just a pile of soft sugar. Like, isn't that slightly bananas? I think I mostly ate bananas, actually. But to specifically say Krispy Kreme donuts, it has the word crispy in it. I've never had a Krispy Kreme donut. But yes, just the dumb teeth will be left. Oh man, hilarious. So whatever, dude says that, I'm always right. Well, my life, my wife is literally going through a bunch of horrible stuff right now, but if she just listened to me, like, when people are going through horrible stuff, that's when they least want to listen about things. They just want to tell you their problems and have you go, yes, I understand, and I'm here for you if you need it. Don't give them the correct answers. Like, we covered this. We cover this in all the sitcoms, I'm pretty sure. Chicken and rice. Chicken's pretty soft. Rice is pretty good. I can see that as well for post-wisdom tooth removal food. My main thing was just being terrified that something's going to get lodged in there and pretty much starving myself for at least the first day or two. Actually, Everybody's at it. Everybody needs a vent. That's why there's so many live streams and so many TikToks out there. I just read, I believe Voxney posted it, or was Voxney responding to it, that I assume American Congress or American whatever politics is once again trying to shut down TikTok to make, TikTok illegal. Yeah, like they just gave me regular, normal, local anesthetic, which I was terrified by. I wasn't like loopy or knocked out. I just walked home. I mean, I just live like a block away from the dentist's office. But I was so surprised. I was in and out so fast, and it didn't hurt. My dentist was amazing. He was just kept telling me how great I am at getting my tooth out. Like, what is happening here? All I'm doing is laying here. And then after it was done, he was like, that was great. Like, what do you even do? And I showed him some videos of me doing David Bowie voice for something, because he mentioned something about David Bowie. And stop motion. But yeah, this is like the second or fourth time they've tried to make to shut down TikTok. But after I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which was so good, so fun, so funny. I loved all the songs. I really do enjoy a nice short Christmas special with good music, and even all the extra music, the non in-universe music. I forget what the word for that is. I loved that. Whatever that band was, it said their name. I already forget, but they were fantastic. But sometimes you forget how amazing Kevin Bacon is. He's just the greatest. And this is my link back to TikTok. Is the only thing I really enjoyed when I looked at TikTok was two things. PD USA, I think his name is. He's like one guy that pretends to be a handful of guys, and he's hilarious. And I genuinely keep thinking that he's multiple people. And the other only thing out of the two was Kevin Bacon's TikTok. Every time he popped up and was like, I don't even care what you're doing, but you're just awesome. Like, he's just like, let me just strum on my guitar. Hey, I was just playing around with the idea for this song. Hey, here's a little sheep that I have, or a little animal or something that lives in my property. Like, now I'm gonna hang up some. It just seems like who he was in that movie. I'm just like, I think this is just. I don't even think there's a movie. I think they genuinely just kidnapped Kevin Bacon and was like, hey man, you're having a great time. Like, oh, I am. Why wouldn't I have a great time? I'm in space. And it's, yeah, like that, the whole 7 degrees or 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, it just makes more and more sense, not because, he's in a lot of movies. He's just awesome. He's just fantastic. I was just like, I mean, yet another movie. It takes nothing at all, but I put that up there next to the Muppet Family Christmas. The Muppet Christmas Carol is one of the best, but the Muppet Family Christmas, the TV special, have to watch it every year, and I literally pretty much cry all the way through it. It's just like every minute of this is so heartfelt, and I could just feel and see Jim Henson just pouring himself into Christmas time, and then at the end when he's just like, I'm just gonna wash the dishes, and I'm like, you're not even alive anymore. Like, I just love it. And Guardians special was as good. My first TikTok love was Gemma Weston, my New Zealand wife that doesn't know I exist, but she hasn't been active on TikTok in I don't know how long. It happens. I disappear every once in a while. I'm finding it harder and harder to post things on Twitter because, the same reason people are not driving Teslas anymore. Just that alone, especially Drax and I want to call her the Wasp, but that is not her name. Mantis? Yeah, it's Mantis, right? Those two are awesome. Mantis is just adorable in all of the things. It was great to see her have more lines, have more to do, and I thought that was great. And Drax, that guy that plays Drax, I'm genuinely always surprised by him. And how much I'm just like, you're hilarious and adorable, and you're barely doing anything. And I'm glad that the special is mostly you two having an adventure and talking to Kevin Bacon and talking to all these other characters that I'm like, ugh. The only one that's missing is Steve Agee. But I think they mentioned him as being, I think his name was the one. Oh, no, Steve Agee. He got shot through the head by Yondu's arrow, I think. But I'm pretty sure I heard a podcast where they're like, oh, yeah, Steve said he's still alive, though. Because James Gunn was like, I still got to have Steve Agee around. He's one of my favorite people. So I think he survived it in some way. Yeah, same with me. I thought for sure, I'm going to be a TikTok sensation in no time. I'll make some of these voices. I'll do some animations. This is what people like, right? And it is just I have a real hard problem with making a video of what everybody else is making a video. Oh, this is the sound. This is the popular sound today. Let's all make that video sound. I'm just like, no, I'm gonna pick some other obscure sound. I was like, well, then nobody's gonna see you. You keep trying to be obscure, or different, if you will, or original, and that's what makes you an idiot, and you're an idiot for it. And I'm just like, no, I want to be cool and different. Like, that doesn't exist anymore. Steve Jobs is dead. Now it's just idiot different. Like, fine. So that's why I'm over here in my little 3-viewer universe, which again, it's comforting to not have a bunch of hate monsters in the chat and just having you guys in here. So I also I haven't posted anything on TikTok in a while, and the last few little animations I made, I'm just like, I don't even want to play that game. I have to keep TikTok because it works. Sometimes we do stuff for TikTok, and I've got to check out TikTokers and make stuff for them, and then occasionally hate myself because I'm just like, really? This guy? This lady? They have huge numbers, and I'm just like, what they're doing to me seems atrocious, but whatever, it's harmless. It's still, just innocuous nonsense. And a reason for me to use the word innocuous nonsense. I drifted once again, as I always do. Yes. So, dropped my car off for a few days. Car was gone. Felt like, yeah, it's definitely a quantity over quality thing. Yes, Mira. So yeah, dropped my car off. Felt just insane. Because a few things where I'm like, I want to put up these lights. I can't just run and get, oh, that just made my night, Laser Sharks. That was hilarious. Oh, man. Hey, Tokyo, pull back on the drifting for a minute. Hey, Miles, watch out before somebody calls you Tokyo because you're drifting around so much. Yesterday, dude calls, hey, your car's ready. Car's ready. You can come get it. Like, awesome. It was this giant amount of money. Like, yep. Okay, I've just got to stop at the bank, and then I'll get a cab down to you guys. How late are you open? Till 4. Okay, cool. That gives me an hour. That is more than enough time. I'll get down there. I'll zip back, finish my work. Everything's going to be A-okay. I'm going to slap it up, flip it, and reverse it. Modify, transform, flip horizontal. I'm going to be looking the other way and be like, what? What are you talking about, cat? Leave myself this tall because I don't care. So I go down to the bank. Carl J. That can't be the action bastard himself, is it? You're always talking about fixing your car, if it is Mr. Jacktober. Dude's like, yep, that's gonna be all the money in the world. So I go to the bank, try to take the money out of the banking machine. The banking machine's like, that's all you could take out for the day, like, brrr. And before that, there was like 2 old ladies, like, very slowly, like, I don't even know what they're doing, paying all their bills at the bank machine. Who does that? Who does that? I can do everything on my phone now. It's bizarre. So then I get in line. There's a huge lineup. Again, there's 1,000 old ladies all there to pay all of their bills and get their little pass books, whatever they're called, their little bank books updated and printed off. And it's just like, oh my God, I can see your phone from here. Just do it on your phone. And again, I realized that for a good chunk of my life, I'm absolutely the opposite of that, where it's like, hey, can I just go somewhere and pay this? I'd like to viscerally get this done. And I finally finally crossed over to that thing where I'm just like, everybody just do it on your phone. Who cares? We're all getting hacked. Who cares? Just put it out there. Get it done. Don't be in a lineup. I'm quickly running out of time. And I'm in the lineup. Christmas music is playing. Mariah Carey is telling me exactly what she wants for Christmas. And this other dude is in the lineup with a beautiful voice singing different Christmas songs. And I can't complain about somebody just randomly singing, because especially if you watch the Streamlabs stream, I just randomly sing for 4 hours straight. Maybe I should do some drawing while I talk. Is that going to be possible? Maybe if you could ever learn to stop talking with your hands. What if you could stop talking with your hands? You're not controlling a puppet. You're not a puppet. You could move your mouth, and you could use your brain without you waving your hands around. Seriously, it's not that complicated. Why you gotta go and make things so complicated? Laser Sharks is gonna start calling you Avril. And is that what you want? Is that what you want? You weren't even born in April, so don't even go there. He's right. See? Can't stop, won't stop, will never stop talking with my hands. That's why this stream should really just be a talking show. The drawing is just a crutch. But if you don't have crutches, you fall down. If you don't have crutches, you're just going to fall down.
And if you do have crutches and an evil skeleton man is around, I'll kick those crutches away just to watch you fall down. Hey, Mr. Bruce, why do we fall down? I'll tell you why we fall down. Because the skeleton man kicked out your effing crutches. That's all for me, guys. Anyway, back to the main show.
Got a lot of forgot that I put the alerts over there. Thanks, Carl. So whatever. Finally get in the lineup. Again, the guy singing was fantastic. Another old lady was between me and that guy, and she's like, I thought it was the radio. Your voice is beautiful, and it was. But it's just like, now I'm listening to 2 songs at once, and I normally have my headphones on, but I was in a hurry, and I'm all kerfuffled. And now I'm trying to think of the other word for kerfuffled. Discombobulated is the word I wanted to use, because it's longer and sillier. So anyway, I finally get up to the counter. I'm like, I need this much money out. She's like, well, how much money do you normally take out? Like, what? None. I don't use money. What are you talking about, bank lady? Super nice bank lady. Awesome person. Nothing but helpful. And I was just like so confused by the question. Like, what? It was like, no, I just need this money out. It was like, no, I could raise your limit if you need to get more, if you need to take out this giant amount of money every week, then I can raise, like, if I need to take this giant amount of money out every week, then I wouldn't have a place to live. This is literally the same amount as my rent, so I can make my car legal to drive on the road. And part of me thinking like, oh, snaps. Should I just buy a new car? Not now. I spend a bunch of money on it. It's going to last forever. So that kind of threw me for a look. I'm like, no. I was like, I'm just trying to get my car back from the mechanics. And they only take cash because, everyone's on the up and up when they only take cash. Again, they seem like they're on the up and up. I don't know. So right next door, basically, to the bank is the taxi. See that right there. There's no need for that amount of hand movement while you're thinking. You don't even know the word, and you're just trying to think of like the cab stand. It's just the cab stand or a room where a lady takes phone calls that calls cabs. Your weird withering arm movements are far from necessary. So anyway, cab stand. You walk to the cab stand, you walked in the door, and then nothing interesting happened. No, but I walked in and I was just like, she's on the phone, like, yep, that's going to be like 30 to 40 minutes before I get to you. And she's like, and how can I help you? I'm like, yeah, I think you already answered my question, unless there's a cab right here at the cab stand that's willing to take me 5 minutes down the road. It was bitterly cold and still too far to walk. And she was like, "Yeah, like a half hour at the least." And I'm like, "Well, I've got 25 minutes exactly to get there, so I guess I'll just get it tomorrow. Don't worry about it." Walk back home. I spent a good chunk of that afternoon where I was just like, I'm going to get my car back. I'm going to go get some food somewhere that somebody else has cooked. This is going to be delightful. I'm possibly going to stop at Walmart, see if they have any new He-Mans, which they don't, because I checked today. I start to draw structure, and then I just ignore it. So whatever, no big deal. That was yesterday. The only point of that story is today I was already aggravated. Oh, but then I went back home, sat at my desk, and Matt at work was like, I need this, I need that thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I did a thing, she's like, this streamer actually means this. Like, oh, okay, no problem. So I got all that stuff done. And it was a good day. And it's also for, like, streamers I like, so I'm not like, these people with their demands. It's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah, these proportions are fine. I'm fine with this. So today, I'm just... I don't want to I don't want to call a cab. I don't want to do anything. It's cold out. Seems like it's going to start storming at any minute. Dogs are always getting in trouble by themselves downstairs. I should have read that message 1,000 years ago. All right, let's do my usual copy and paste nonsenseness. And gonna real quick look at what I have written, so I forget how he's supposed to look to go with the dialogue. All right. So yeah, so today have to start out the day with like, all right, I gotta call a cab, see how long that's gonna take. They usually will tell you how long, but definitely the same lady that I saw the day before was like, yep, I'll get one to you right away. Like, oh geez, normally they say like 20 to 30 minutes or something like that. So I ran downstairs and waited for like, I don't know, ever. And cab shows up. And this is where I legitimately was like, I want to take the rest of it. I want to call in sad to work now. Because I feel destroyed. I feel destroyed for several reasons. So I get in the cab driver's cab. And it is a habit of most of the cab drivers around here to be like, oh, by the way, I love Trump. And I hate everything that you love about your friends and the people that you care about. Like, oh, okay. And sometimes if they're scrawny enough, or at least my size, I'll be like, actually, being a good person is a better way to be than being a jerk about everything. Imagine if people just thought your existence was unacceptable because you drive a cab, the same way that you think that everybody who isn't a white man, basically, a straight white man, should bow down to you, I guess, cab driver man. So... just talking about the snow, just talking about, like, yeah, like the government should really be more aware of where we all live and the climate conditions and start, you know, taking that into actual consideration instead of just doing everything for the sake of tax breaks and business interests and whatnot, and, you know, actually take care of people. And he was like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, all right, cool. For once I don't have a weird, old, cranky, racist cab driver. And somehow he turned that like, yeah, everybody, like the government should basically be giving out studded tires to everyone so we can all be safe, because it's just the most dangerous thing. People get killed and hurt left, right, and center just because nobody who can even afford to get studded tires in in today's climate, it's just like the government doesn't care. And I'm like, yep, I agree on that. It would be great, And I didn't say, but now I'm starting to think if I had said, it's like, yeah, like, I can't think of the word. I just want to say feminine napkins is the clean version, but just feminine hygiene products. How it's just like, yeah, like that stuff should just be like, just given out. It's just, 50% of society is fully burdened by a monthly horrific pain and grossness that they have to endure. And it's just like, we could just subsidize that the same way we do with milk. Like, why do we keep subsidizing milk? I don't know. Since I stopped drying milk, stopped drinking milk, I'm like, why are we putting so much money into milk over here? Why aren't we giving more money to that guy Curtis to do stuff? But that's my reasoning for everything, because sometimes I'm as much of a jerk as Milo, and feel like I deserve the world. So, dude jumps from snow tires and the government helping people to that's exactly what's happening. Is you know what? He's like, if we had just kept Trump in power, everything will be great. All this stuff is taken care of. With Biden, what Biden's doing, he's selling off everybody's jobs to China. And he's bought and sold this person, and he's doing this thing. And you know what? He's like, transgendered studies, like, they're not even being subtle about it. They're just trying to teach everybody about transgenderness and ask them, like, that's going to be okay. And then you hate yourself. And I'm just like, just dying inside. And he can't see my finger behind the seat. Maybe he can. I did it kind of in the crack. So I'm just flipping him the finger for this entire drive. And I'm like, I want to say something. I was so tempted when I get out of the car to be like, oh, by the way, everything you just said is wrong and the opposite. You're horrible. But he was so much bigger than me. Like, if he just, swung a haymaker back into the back seat, my face would just be splattered all over the back window. So I'm like, I'm going to choose my battles, and I'll just feel bad for the whole day. For both the reason that I didn't say anything and for the reason that, he said a bunch of terrible things. But mostly that was like, they're just giving everything away to the Chinese. I'm like, isn't that specifically what Trump was trying to do? Like, he was the one that was cohorting with all these horrible people and all of their weirdness. Like, how is he just like, these idiots believe all this stuff about, like, what? And just everything he was saying was just nuts. And I just stopped talking. It was like, you haven't even noticed that I stopped agreeing with you or saying anything. I'm just sitting here stunned. So when I was getting into the car, he was like, oh, it was really great talking to you. Oh, wow, like that. I hope to see you again or whatever. Like, you didn't actually just, and that was the other thing. It was like, we were in Nova Scotia. We were like way over, like, whenever there's a joke from an American sitcom or movie or comedian, the reference point is like, all the way out in Nova Scotia. It was like, well, that's where we are. So that couldn't be more, out of Trump and Biden's jurisdiction. He was like, Biden's ruining everything or whatever. And just like, where do you think that we are? And just that, he's like, and losing all of our jobs. It's like, do you think your cab driving job is somehow being shipped over to China? And also, I'm just like, I'm not going to bring up the fact that like, I work with people from all over the world from my little Nova Scotia office here. All the different colors, all the different races, all the different sexual orientations, and they're all wonderful and great. And oh my God, I was like, I just want to flip over and start booting the back window over to your car just for the sake of being a maniac. But I'm like, I'm not going to be a maniac just because somebody else is a maniac. So he just said a bunch of that stuff, and I just basically sat there frozen, genuinely trying not to cry on the way to go pick up my car from another guy who I know is going to allude to the same kind of stuff. But at least when I got back to the welding man's place, his stories this time were all about all the different times he saved people's lives. I'm like, yes! So I told him like the story of when my dad saved somebody's life and never told anybody, didn't know about it until he was dead. And And I told him, like, times where he was like, yeah, I was like, somebody was stuck under a car and I happened by and I pulled them out of the car and I was like, the same thing happened to me. I helped somebody out from being stuck under a car. I was like, it feels good to help people. It feels good to help people. So that lifted me back up again. That, hate-ish monger number 2, who was always right, was just saying some nice things. Meanwhile, I'm still just like, will you just give me my keys back? Here, take this giant pile of money that I wish I could keep. I have to get back to work. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, your boss is looking at us like, why are you guys still having a conversation over there? Like, because I don't know when to stop talking, but I haven't even been talking. I gotta save this up for later. I got a bunch of talking to do at the end of after work. So whatever. Finally got out of there, got in my car, was worried like, oh, this is gonna look terrible. But it looks cool, I think, because it's like just like a black strip around the bottom now instead of just red around the bottom of my Honda Fit. I was like, cool. I think this looks cooler. If anything, I kind of want to add more of a strip around the tire, the wheel wells, which probably also need to be have the same thing done to them, but whatever. Still have to call my other garage and go, hey, I'm ready to get re-inspected again. Can I be legal? I've passed like 300 cots and none of them stopped me yet, so far so good. So then the other irritations of my day were just basic nothing. Just came home, tried to get back to work, and then Clyde was like, hey, we should test out this thing so that Clyde could be on the stream with me on Friday during the work stream. And I was like, I don't see why we need to test it. It definitely is just going to work fine. Just watch the video about it. It's so easy. And then tried to do this thing and just spent forever. And then it's like, all right, we'll go to the channel that does this thing. Hey guys, why won't this work for me? Why won't this work for me? And the answer is always, because you're a Mac boy is why. And I'm like, that's always the answer. And now I have the hiccups. Excuse me, hate the hiccups. So that just drove me crazy in that, one, trying to deal with this. Ding dong. What? There's a package being delivered. Gotta go get that. And it was a gift from work for working there for 5 years. I tell the mail lady, oh, you know what? I think this is a nice fancy gift that I got from Logitech/Streamlabs for working there for 5 years. And they're just so nice about stuff like that. And she was like, oh, well, I've been at the post office for like 20 years or whatever she said, or 10 years. She's like, you know what they gave me? A shabby print off that says, you've worked here for this many years, and then stuck it in what was clearly a dollar store frame. And I was like, oh man, I was like, I've got a super nice, like, gold, or not gold, glass, or plastic, yeah, I think it's glass, like plaque thing, like statue that says like thank you for your service. Like it's literally the first trophy I've ever gotten in my whole life. Cats insist that it's dinner time constantly. That's the only thing they're ever actually saying. It's either I want you to die so I can eat you, or it's dinner time, or hey, you know what would be hilarious? If I knocked this over and you paid attention to me more. That's all. That's their whole jam. I'm right here. I'm literally standing right here. And if I could remind you of something, It's like dinner time, I think. I think it's second dinner. Can I get some second dinner over here? I mean, this mug hasn't had anything in it in 3.5 years. Can we change this to a sandwich? Or, I don't know, give me another mug of something? Why isn't this a Christmas mug? Can I just complain at you even more? I just want to complain at you so much more. Oh, my God. Hey, guys, don't forget the mom over here. Hey, remember that time you were like, I'm going to change this voice totally. And then you forgot what that voice was. I do, Ted. I do. I think I was going to change it to more of a Canadian voice. Let's try. Let's try the Terry voice for Ted, if I can remember. Oh, no, can't remember it. It's not coming to me. How does it go? Hey, guys. Hey. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Canadian voice. Come on. Oh, hey, guys. It's me, Ted. No, this is not. It's going in a different direction, eh? It's kind of there, but it's not, eh? Oh, anyway, I think we could all have a good time if we just relaxed a little bit more, eh? Did some of that snow surfing. Yeah? Not only am I into the surfing in the summertime, I'm getting a little bit Irish or Scottish or something here as well, aren't I? You sure are, Ted. You sure are. One of these days, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Oh, man. One of these days. Yeah. Oh, I love cats more than anything. I'll sit there and I'll snuggle a cat no matter how much it makes me not be able to breathe for another day or two. They're the best, but deep down, they are pure evil. Like, most of them are pure evil. Whereas dogs are pure goodness, and some of them are just, arbitrarily awful. But deep down they're pure good, and cats are pure evil. But they still, there's lots of pure evil people out there that are like, that's my best friend. They're awesome. The man with 4.5 voices. Oh, hey, you pressed the wrong window? I sure did. Oh my God. Just 100% Tokyo over here. Drifted over to Ted, and lost my whole train. So, yes. So I come home. We're me and Claude are just going back and forth, trying to get this thing to work for the longest time. Zach comes in. He's like, try this, try that. How about this thing? Like, we did it. We fixed it, Zach. Jump back over. Finish some other work. There's some messages. Susette's like, can we get one of these things? Like, you sure can, if I could do it tomorrow. And what about this? We got some charity art that needs doing. Okay, I can move this thing to over Thursday if I do this tomorrow, and everything's fine. And Mitch is all like, yeah! And I'm like, awesome. As long as everyone's having a great time, we're having a great time. I don't know what CG is. Somewhere between chaotic neutral and chaotic grateful? Chaotic Grammarly? Chaotic I don't know. Chaotic neutral. Chaotic good, of course. Oh. Yeah, so obvious. So obvious all the DJ said, Deb, if chaotic good was a drug, I'd be sold by the grab. I keep my composure over here. My composure is kept while it's time to shake it loose. Magnetized by the mic when I'm drinking this mug of juice. Hey guys, don't worry about it. Everything's chill. Everything's cool. Flowing like harpoons daily and or nightly. Meow, 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 meow. Completely off the rails, Rips. Completely off the rails. I know. I'm back on the rails. I'm gonna draw some more of this. Oh, wow. In my defense of only doing, 2 or 3 panels roughed out in an hour, when I've watched other people's art streams, it's just like, oh wow, this is like a 9-hour art stream to do a part of a drawing. So I feel like I'm not an awful person if it's about productivity, but if it's about, some people don't even watch this, they're just listening. So yeah, I'm also feeling that amount of silence that needs filling. I do need to look at the dialogue again. Let's put it over here so I can click it. All right, yeah, let's do that. Captain Barmy, you are all about the chaos for sure. I've been watching your Twitter go by for the past few days, and every moment of your life seems both amazing and terrifying. Hey guys, if you don't know who Captain Barmy is, I did like he challenged me with a weird little logo on the Streamlabs stream, and he used it for like his mental health charity logo, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This guy's like doing cool stuff. I thought you were definitely a maniac that was just thrived on Twitter. Let me take it. Thrived on Twitter carnage, I believe is what you're trying to say. Yes. And then it's just like, hey, here I am trying to raise money for mental health. Hey, you know what else I'm over here doing? Loading up ambulances or something in Ukraine. And I'm just like, what? Who are you? What are you doing? And it's just like, now I'll go make some weird things. And it's just like, this guy seems like the greatest ball of chaos and giving and goodness, but still also I'm going to cause some trouble, and I have to commend it. I got to put a medal on that and say, you deserve a medal, sir. What are you saying right now? I turned that pineapple. It was like a pineapple that maybe was also a grenade. I can't remember. But it was like kind of a rainbowy pineapple. But yeah, he turned that into a flag, and it's hanging outside his house. And if I knew how to read, in Kramatorsk, Ukraine. Voxney also made like a flag or a banner of the stuff I made for her, and it's like hanging in her stream room. Just like, this is the greatest. This is pretty much everything I've ever wanted out of drawing stuff. Have fun with your tater knitting for Christmas, Laser Sharks. Yes, I thought that's where you lived in Ireland. Of course. That makes sense. I don't understand Europe. It definitely seems like people can get places that I thought were a billion miles away than I thought. So anyway, all the chaos all day long of just like trying to get this stuff done and then trying to answer people's things, and it's like, there's another package coming in. So like the regular mail came, and then the package from work came with this awesome backpack that I got as an award that I get to pick it myself, and I was like, I think I want this cool backpack, and it was just 1,000 great things on top of just like, if I could just have 5 minutes to you clicked on me instead of the drawing screen. Yep, I sure did. And it was just like, I just need a minute. And then once work was done, about a half hour after I normally stop, got everything under control, answered all the messages, I was like, oh, I still can't wait to do a stream. Again, I put up some different lights. I liked how that was working. Still waiting for some stuff to show up in the mail. To kind of finish that stuff off. So anyway, talked about Guardians Christmas. Oh yeah, I got a card from Daryl, my friend Daryl, who's Instagram name escapes me at the moment. He doesn't post a lot, but when he does, that's awesome. So Daryl sent a Christmas joke and some Christmas games. And then, as I start to clean up this drawing, I'm gonna get angry and also semi-encouraging, but mostly angry about AI art and how it's affecting the world. Happy chap on an Instagram. Happy chap riding in on a ram. He's got a pineapple that likes to eat clam. Don't worry, it's kosher, ma'am. It's probably not. Don't remember what kosher means. But anyway, the Christmas joke from Daryl is... what do you call Santa Claus when he stops? What do you call Santa Claus when he stops? And I'll let you come up with your own answers for a minute. So yeah, AI art, artificial intelligence art. I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks interesting and cool in its wonkiness. I enjoy when people do take the time to make these weird, twisted, too many fingers, too many teeth drawings. And I think they're fun when people come up with them. My problem with the fun wonkiness of AI art is that so often people can be like, hey, that looks like a drawing that I did. Or it looks like 4 of my drawings mashed together, and then you can see a lot of people posting like, here's some original art by somebody, and here's the original art by some AI, which is the same. It's basically the same. And whatever, I get people are just like, it doesn't have the soul, it doesn't have the whatever. I'm just like, part of me doesn't care. Sometimes I draw something and I have no soul and I have no love for whatever I'm doing. I'm just making a visual. So in that way, I'm kind of okay with it. If you're just making your profile pictures, like, yeah, make some wonky, weird stuff. It's fun. Sometimes I draw wonky, weird stuff on purpose. Part of me is tempted to plug in the Milo and me and make it draw some comics for me. But then I'm like, I just want to draw some wonky, weird stuff on my own. So no. And I don't want the robot to have my soul. I'm not ready to upload myself into the Matrix yet. My friend whose art that I admired for years and years and years and years, like literally 20 years plus of admiration, he was like, hey, I fed all of my artwork into the AI machine, and this is what came out, and I love it, so I'm going to do more of this stuff. And I was just like, no. I did click on one of the AI things. I didn't feed in any information, but one of the next buttons under the Generate My AI Art is, hey, would you like 100 variations to sell as an NFT or 500 variations to sell it as an NFT? And I'm just like, everything about this is soulless vacuum of just pulling in money for no reason, blah. And kind of the reason I had a whole book that I was going to do about Milo making NFTs, and I was like, I hate this. I'm just angry at myself, so I'm going to combine it into the regular comic strips of me and Milo and not have it be a whole nonsense thing. Not that there was going to ever be any actual NFTs about Milo and me. Just a book making fun of how crazy it can be. So the answer to that joke is, what do you call Santa Claus when he stops? Santa Paws. Santa Paws, obviously. Even better is, what do you call Cat Santa or some sort of puppy Santa when he stops? And Santa, and spell it with a P-A-W-S, but that's just me. No need to give revisions on everything. That's what makes me a jerk. Oh, so we have a whole thing about how I'm a jerk because I'm right about everything, but when you're a jerk, it's just like, oh, it's just a delightful colloquialism. That's how I say that word. There's nothing wrong with that. Or it's just, oh, I'm just being whimsical and pedantic and nonsensical. But I'm a jerk over here. But I'm a jerk. I just said that I'm being a jerk.
Did I mention I'm the king of the jerks? Yeah. I used to say boob on children's television, and nobody batted an eye. You're a boob. They're a boob. Everyone gets to be a boob. And no one says anything. It still meant boob back then. It still meant boob.
Calm down, Skeletor. So, what if I kept drawing the thing that I'm trying to draw instead of getting angry at myself? I used to go to this drawing challenge on Instagram and Twitter, and I would participate occasionally in the drawing challenge. But then the other day, so the person was like, check out these awesome drawings. And clearly it's like, there's no hands in it. It's just from here up. And then there was some wonky bits where I'm like, this is clearly AI. This is not a drawing. You just took the reference point, put it in there and said, draw it in your AI style. And it did. And I was mad. And I unfollowed it. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not participating in this. Not just because of that, but because also the person who runs that drawing challenge also posts a lot of things that I'm just like, no. Just care about people. Stop. No. This stream is what the inside of my head is like. Sprayed all over a Logitech camera and a fancy blue Sona Logitech microphone. I love this microphone. I like how it looks, and I hope it sounds as well as it did when I last tested it and listened to the recordings and whatnot. All right. Let me delete you. Paste. Paste picante sauce. Apple V, and then we're not at a loss. Suddenly Skeletor starts to appear. Don't worry, there's no need to fear. He's only about 6 inches tall, and his sword is not sharp at all. I'm not hanging with the beat, but I'm still kind of tapping my feet. But I don't want to shake the desk too much because it'll rock the camera, and then we're in a fuss. Ran out of rhymes.
Your rhymes are so weak, you need to get tougher. Everybody knows that you're a stocking stuffer. You fill it with your garbage that nobody wants. Draw some pictures so that we can flaunt them on the internet with your words and make fun of the AI. That's so absurd, and my rhymes are tighter, and I'm even mightier. Also, I'm blue, and, I'm right here. It's cool, and, I'm muscular. So muscular for, someone with the bones for a face. I like making that noise.
This place is getting out of hand. Suddenly, Skeletor. And then we draw some more. Let's try drawing my face at a different angle for once. What if I did that? What if I proved I could draw? Oh man. See, now I get trapped in a rhyme thing. Oh yes, we got some Christmas anagrams that Daryl came up with. I have to remember, I got to get a card in the mail for Daryl. I'm working on another card for somebody else on my coffee table, and I got one other art Christmas project, and the rest is store-bought or gift card nonsense. So anyway, that's where it was. So this drawing comes up in the drawing challenge. I see that is clearly AI. So I go to the guy to see what else he's got. And dude's bio says, hey, I'm an artist. I'm an artist that makes stuff using AI art.
using, it lists like the different AI things where you can get something from. And feel free to contact me for commissions and prints. Now, prints, okay. Yep, you got a bunch of wonky stuff here, whether it's made by a computer. People used to make fractal art, which was like, just let the computer go crazy. There's voxel stuff, where it's just simulations and whatnot. So it's not that I'm against the computer doing the work. It's the fact that you're acting like you're in any kind of control of what you can do with this. If I commission something, it's not going to be what I need it to be. What I'm afraid of with AI art, what terrifies me in the world of AI art. Yes, be afraid. Be very afraid. Empty your darkness thought to me. I want to eat it up. Nom, 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 nom. So delicious. Give me that sweet, sweet fear. Stop being weird. What terrifies me about it is eventually some streamer, somebody who needs artwork is going to be like, I want this. And they're going to slide over a weird AI painting, and I'll just be like, can you give me the Photoshop layers? Can you give me a vector version of that? Can you tell me which parts of this work? Or are you all about the 12 fingers of nonsense? And they'll be like, what? No, like actually still like doing normal. It's like, well, I don't do crazy Photoshop paintings like this. This is like days and days worth of work for a normal human to do this. But you can't just go to the computer and be like, all right, now that you've done this, can we do this? But we're going to need to move the arm up a little bit, normalize those fingers, and I need it to look to the left or whatever. It's going to be like, oh, and here's some eyes over on the left side of the head. And exactly. And again, most of the stuff I do is ones and zeros. It's not real. I did spend a good chunk of the weekend taking a bunch of my old random canvases, because I tried to clean out all my shelves and reorganize. So I'm like, all of these are covering the wall. So today's Instagram / Twitter picture of Milo on the couch, that's my living room. And those are most of the pictures I put up on the wall. And to fill in the spaces, I'm just randomly blobbing colors onto a canvas. I'm not looking to sell them. I'm not treating them as if this is art and everyone will want it. These are literally space fillers. And as long as everyone keeps treating their AI art as space fillers, then go for it. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. I don't care. It's the same as sometimes, like, I've put up weird drawings that, like, children have done for me. It's just like, I'm going to put this in the frame on a wall. I haven't in a while, but I have a feeling that after Christmas, my friend's kid is definitely going to give me a picture that I'll put on the wall, because for her, I did a painting of her cat, and she's going to think it's great. And then she's going to probably draw a picture of a cat for me where I'll be able to see its butthole, because that's what she does. She's 7, maybe 8 now. I think she's still 7. What if I kept drawing instead of letting my jaw go on jawing? Instead, we're just talking, rhyming, Jamira quiring. So that's my fear. That's my fear, is somebody's going to make me deal with this, because it's already bad enough that a lot of people out there think that, like, oh, you know what? Let me just make you up a, what's that thing that people used to always say before TikTok? It's in here. It's in here. Milo. Pinterest. You're trying to think of Pinterest? Why is it I can think of things in your voice but not my own? What do you mean by thinking of things in my voice? Stop acting like I'm not here. I'm sitting right here, and I'm real, and I'm cool, and I've got a hat, and everything's awesome, and don't you dare. Don't you dare. I swear to fun, don't you dare act like I'm not here. So yeah, people will put together Pinterest theme mood boards. That's the word. Mood boards, or just mood boards in general. Like, well, I'm basically looking for this, and it's just like, all right, so usually I can at least get an idea of the colors that you want, but sometimes it's just like, what do you think I'm supposed to get out of this? Do you want kittens? No. I just want it to feel like 7 pictures of kittens. But don't draw any kittens. Like, well, then use your words. Tell me what you want. Now, back to Captain Barmy news for just a second. I rescued a little kitten in the Ukraine. Stop saying the. I rescued a little kitten in Ukraine. She lives in Munich now. Unfortunately, my incredibly I'm incredibly allergic to kitty cats. I want to make a hyper-realistic AI pineapple. I saw one of those actually the other day where I'm like, is that the pineapple that I made for Captain Barmy? Because it was like a weird pineapple monster, but something about it was like, hey, whatever. It was just a pineapple. Oh God, yeah. When I every once in a while and you see like something that is about somebody talking another voice and it's just like that person has problems. They're getting a lot of their aggression or a lot of their feelings out through these other characters, and they should really stop and take stock of their life. And sometimes I do, and I'm just like, sometimes it is just like, yeah, no. Sometimes this is my fake voice and this is my real voice, and I'm like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Hey, what about Ted, eh? Ted's over here. I'm just speaking Canadian. There we go. I'm not drifting into Irish or Scottish again, eh? Oh, I kinda am. But, you know, you're from Nova Scotia, is just New Scotland, eh? So part of your accent is going to be bound to come out sometimes. So that's fine. That's fine, eh? But everybody, just keep it chill. And just remember, you know, snowboarding is totally excellent, eh? And if Avocado Shakes was here, I definitely think she'd agree. But she's not. And now I'm Irish again. Why can't I do a Canadian accent? It always does that. That's... I am Canadian. I am Canadian. Why is my voice getting so high? I'm so angry. Oh, man. Oh, this is a good stream. This is a great day. I think, again, my friend Tara always says, like, in order to have high highs, you got to have low lows. But after low lows, you're going to have some higher highs. So after 2 solid days of just being frustrated, it's just like, oh, to just sit here and also just to wonkily draw stuff on purpose. I always find it funny, like, I watch a lot of, like, QI and Would I Lie to You and 8 out of 10 Cats and stuff like that, Mock the Week. And I always find it funny when one British person's like, oh, this guy over here is just like, I'm going to possibly offensively do it now, but it's just like, oh, hello. Nope, that's not it. Good day, sir. I'm here from England somewhere. Come check out my castle, sir. I'm not like somebody from the north who's like, oh, hello, I'm from the north, eh? It's just like, did you change your voice? What was this? Like, oh, these northern people, they sound stupid. Check them out. Oh, I don't even have a castle. But I have a castle. Like, what's going on over here? But Lee Mack once pointed out where it's just like, hey, guys, like, I know there's, like, when we're here, like, I have the silly voice and you have the posh voice. But if we both go to America, they all think we're just, you know, eloquent geniuses or whatever with our accent. And I'm like, yes, we do. We do. Regardless. Australian accent is still, and New Zealand. I do love a New Zealand accent. I don't know why sometimes my alerts come up with the right alert and sometimes they don't. I do recall a meeting at Streamlabs saying, hey, we got to fix that. So it's probably being fixed. And/or I need to just go back in and make my adjustments again. Now, I think I finished all of my thoughts finally, but I'm still pretty sure there's a bit of a thread drifting there that I did not complete. But that's fine. There's always at least at least several things that I forget to finish a thought on and start to. I know I was listening back to one where I was just checking stuff and I just let it play for a bit and I fully was like, now let me tell you about this. This is very important. Like, I got a Skeletor and let me tell you. But first I'll say this thing, and then just never got back to whatever that was. And it was just said in such a way where I was just like, Oh man, I sound absolute. What could I have been talking about to anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about? But who cares? It was in the moment. It's like improv, you know. Oh no, eyes closed. Crazy. To make sure too many hair bumps. There we go. But yeah, because I'm from Northern Ireland and not the Republic of Ireland, I don't have the happy sing-song Irish accent. I just sound like I'm about to commit acts of terrorism. That didn't rhyme, but I tried to force it. Tried to force it. Correct corset. Now you're just dancing. You're not drawing at all. You are just dancing. Seriously. I thought you said you had some anagrams from Daryl to say. And I mean, who's gonna, you don't know what the answer is. So, there's only one way to get the answer is from whoever's watching right now. So, you better play that game. That is one of the threads I did forget. Thanks for keeping me in line. A boot. I don't know if I've ever said a boot. I feel like somebody's been like, you practically said a boot. Where it's just like, about. I've always said about. It was definitely teenagerly age before I was like, wait, we're all supposed to be saying a boot over here? Who says that? I don't know anybody that says that. But as you get a little further west, it gets a little more a booty. Two thumbs. Two thumbs. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Yeah, so which one of those? I think I've definitely heard your accent. I watched some of your stream or YouTubes or something. Perhaps a TikTok? I don't know. Twitter video? But which of those two is... how do I say this name? Aisling? Aisling B? Famous Irish comedian. Done lots of stuff. She's on all of those shows I talked about. Love her to death. She seems to usually have kind of the sing-songiness, or is she the more terroristy Republic? Wait, no, Northern voice. Is she from Northern? Do you know her? Do you know Aisling B? Tell her I said hi. She's from a horse riding community. I know so much about British and European comedians and whatnot. Kildare! That is correct. She's dead. She's talked about that. She took her school trip to the Bog of Allen, where they have a bunch of old cheese buried there, I think is what it is. That's what I learned on QI, and apparently it's stuck in my head. That's what happens when you rewatch shows 1,000 times over. The Bog of Allen, don't be silent. I also, even though Jacksepticeye is clearly Irish and he says Irish things, I for some reason I have Voltroned him together into also being Rubber Ross. I can't think of Ross, but Australian Ross, who very rarely sounds Australian, but sometimes it pops in. I've watched a few of his streams, slash YouTubes, but and same with Jacksepticeye. I've watched very few, but I mostly know both of them from being on Game Grumps, and I've combined both of them together to where, in my head, Jacksepticeye is 100% Australian, and Ross is kind of Australian. It's a big bog, the biggest we've got. Don't go and ask anyone from the Scots. Our bog's bigger. Don't mean to trigger. Got a big old bog and it's full of old cheese. Full of old cheese. How many fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 doesn't seem like enough. I'm gonna sneak one in. There we go. That's how AI does it. Oh yes, that was my other AI thing. Oh yeah, well he lived in the States for the longest time, and I mean, especially when you live in like California, I think you get prone to using more of a universal American accent. Like even this was like nobody in my family really talks like me. And I sound like a weirdo, but I specifically, growing up, was like, I want to talk like the people on the TV. Someday I want to be like the people on the TV. So I just kept talking like the people on the TV. And now I sound like this. Because I've definitely been places, like, even when I go home, I've run into people that are like, now where are you from? Now where are you from, bye? Where are you from? Huh? You from Toronto? You from Toronto, bye? You from down Halifax, what? Just like, no, I'm from here. I'm from here, guy. What do you mean you're from here? Like, this guy over here that sounds like you? Sounds exactly like you? That's my brother. Like, oh, your older brother, eh? Oh, so you didn't want to be like your older brother. Like, no, I'm his older brother, actually. That seems weird. It sure does. It sure does. But that's just how cookies crumble sometimes. I seem like a child, and he seems like some sort of man who builds cars and whatnot. Because, you know, I'm a child who collects toys and draws cartoons, and he builds cars with his bare hands and stuff. Yes, my other AI thread. Still up there. The other thing that I saw just before stream, somebody had posted basically one of their own drawings. Check out this adorable, like, Pokemon-ish character that I came up with. It's cute and adorable. And then this other person was like, hey, I thought this was so cute. I thought, you know what I'd like to see? I want to see this character as like a Pixar-style character. I think that would be cute. So I just took this person's art, fed it into the machine, and made what I think is 2 adorable versions of this thing that are all like 3D looking and weird and whatnot, without asking this person in any way, shape, or form. And then you're just looking at them, just like, okay, they drew this like cute like Pokemon style character. It's all like painty and like watercolor. It's like this nice little thing. And I did like the AI person's AI art. I thought looked cool and wonky and weird, but it literally had these tiny little hands, tiny little animal hands, and there had to be at least like 19 to 25 fingers, just there's thousands of little nubs on his hand where it's like, these are my hands, and just a bunch of other weirdness to it. And then a bunch of people like, oh, so now like fan art's not a thing that you can do? And I'm just like, you know what? Sometimes, yeah, it's not. If somebody doesn't want to share their jam, they're allowed to not do that. Like, I drew a picture. I randomly went to Instagram, grabbed a picture of a model who was posting pictures of herself. Now, in my defense, I was grabbing it from the photographer's site, not the model site, and did used her as a reference and just did a drawing. I think I might have turned her into a dinosaur. I don't even know. I didn't draw it exact. I know that much. I just kind of drew this. And then I tagged the person. This is where I got this pose from this photographer. and from this model, which is, in my head, it was like, that's what you're supposed to do. Cite your sources if you're using sources. And that model was like, how dare you? You did this without my permission. How dare you take my photos of me? And it's fine now, but next time ask permission. I'm just like, I don't have to ask permission to draw a picture of something that I see in the world. That's not how anything works. Now, if I took your photo of you and posted that, slightly maybe modified it, and was like, check out my artwork without mentioning the photographer or you, then that's bad. In this case, I literally was like, I drew a picture of this person, and that's where the AI breaks down for me, where it's like, yeah, it's cool to see a wonky version of something, like, hey, check it out, what if all these people were babies? AI figured it out, but not really. It grabs some other people's photos, it grabs some other people's art, and it photoshopped them together, and it's like, here you go. So it's like, again, sometimes it is about the journey to get there. You know, when somebody's like, hey, check it out, all this art just fell out of my attic, so I'm going to sell it for $1 billion. Like, yep. Part of that journey might include, I bought this house, some artists lived here, I ended up with blah, 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 and there's still a journey. But if you're just like, hey, there's an art gallery full of artwork, I'm just going to grab this, I'm going to glue it all together, I'm going to start my own art gallery where all of this is for sale as one big monster drawing or monster piece of art. And it's like, yeah, no, that's stealing. And again, it's a weird little thin line of what is okay and what is not. And again, it basically comes down to my other fear, where it's like, if it's for fun, then it's for fun. But if it comes to cross my doorstep, where it's like, now you do something with my AI art, and just like, you're not an artist, you can't help me with this, so now I have to somehow be a robot painter, basically. And I don't know. My complaints are all over the road. Oh, and then, of course, the other thing is, hey, like, there used to be, I'd see a bunch of videos where it's like, do you want to make money on YouTube? Of course, we all do. Here's the easiest way to make money on YouTube. Set up a YouTube channel, then you just do a search for whatever the most popular video is. You take it, you download it, you put it on your channel. And then, in some cases, some of these are like public domain, just AI generated videos anyway, so it's just nonsense that nobody really owns, but somebody else created a thing where they're making passive income. So you just make your own channel, and you're still going to make all of that revenue. Even if YouTube takes it all down, you still have made all that revenue, so it's fine. Just, there's lots of stuff out there to take. You don't have to make videos. You don't have to have a dream to make videos for your whole life. You can just get rich stealing, huh? And they lay out the plan so clearly, and now the new one is, hey, you get yourself an AI writing bot. You get yourself an AI drawing bot. You tell it to write a story. You put that story into your AI Dramotron, and then it draws the illustrations, and sure, they're a mess, but who cares? Because kids don't care. I'm not trying to teach your kids how to read or how to process things. That's great. That's an excellent. I want that on a shirt. I definitely want to make a shirt that just says like AI art. The secret ingredient is crime. Go post that on your Twitter right now and have everyone call you a genius. AI art. The secret ingredient is crime, my friends. Which is with everything. The secret ingredient is usually crime. I always remember a long time ago. Oh yeah, and then whatever. That's your Amazon passive income thing is like, just make children's books and sell them. It was like, I've made several books about me and this cat. A bunch of random poetry books and books of sexy dinosaurs. 2 of them, which is weird, wonky stuff. And I'm not rolling in money. I've sold a handful of them. And yes, I need to make some new ads to play during the stream that says, go buy these books. But I keep forgetting to mention them during the stream. So that's 100% your fault. You're just bad at marketing. That's all that is. You're bad. I mean, I'm over here. I could be mentioning it. That's kind of my thing, is to be like, oh, I'm heartless and whatever. Just give me that Skrilla, baby. Give me that
Give me those sweet ducats. Is that still a word for money? Remember when people used to say ducats? I think that's old-timey slag for money. But either way, you just leave it up to me, and I can be like, hey, guys, don't forget, there's books for sale and also merchandise. One shirt says it's cool to be sad and has a picture of a little sad little platypus. So that's a good time. What I want to do now is I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write this down real quick. I think I might make this, and as much as I'd love to get rich quick, I want to make a shirt. I'm writing this on paper because I'm a maniac, and I'll stick to my computer. I'm going to grab pictures of you. I'm going to feed them AI art of CAPNBARMY AR Captain Barmy and Foxotic. It's been a while. Of Captain Barmy, whatever, smiling. If it's not wonky enough, I'll wonky it up. I'll add some fingers. I'll do something to it. Or I'll just make my own. I'll Photoshop my own, do a fake AI art. And then the text, AI art, the secret ingredient, I-N-G or E-D-I-E-N-T. I'll spell it right in the real version. Is crime. And I'm going to send it to Cap and Barmy. And you sell it from your store to raise money for your many different charities and whatnot. And that's my good deed for this week, for the love of fun and thunder. Press play for me. Press play for me. Question mark, can you press that play for me? I want to hear a song that is about some pee. Like the Frankenstein in many years ago, so excited for his monster to grow. Go and beware of fire, but have fun in the snow. Frankenstein's monster. Your last name is Frankenstein as well, therefore we're both called Frankenstein. Oh, the animation. There's no animation. I'm just making a comic strip, Fox. I moved everything around, so now I can't remember how to get my... come on now. Okay, you get out of here. How do I get rid of these? Go away. There we go. I can't get my mouse to go up to this monitor. I'm used to going over here, but now it's over here, and it's making me crazy. Why did I want to go up here? Oh, why are the keyframes? Because it's a book, my friend. I use animation software to make books. I am wildly erratic. Let me turn off. So this is two different parts of this page. That's last week's that I didn't do words for yet. That's 2 weeks ago, where Milo is upset at me for missing the skip button. There's a monster. Can you direct me to the local Taco Bell? Whenever I visit a new town, I like to get diarrhea, so I have an excuse to stay in my hotel room and watch a Dateline marathon. It's just over there, and you don't have to explain Taco Bell to me. Then another one, just randomly drawing monsters. Hey, do you want to go to the mayor's house with me? I'm going to do karate kicks on his front lawn until he gets tired, or he calls the police, whichever comes first. Which is based on my friend who the local mayor of El Guapo 98's town is being a jerk. And I was like, you know what you should do? Go stand in his front yard and do karate kicks until he calls the police. I think that would be delightful. And then, a bunch of other ones. Some of them that I've forgotten to put words in, and in some cases I haven't taken the time to write down the words that I'll need to find, so I'll have to make them up again, and that'll be fine.
Hope you're doing great, Fox. I haven't checked out your stuff in a million years. Are you the champion of the Rocket Leagues yet? I finally played Rocket League, Foxotic. It's been a little while. That mayor's the worst. Oh, I used to think he was so cool because he was friends with little Sam. And now I'm all like, come on now, mayor. And I shouldn't be talking about this stuff because it's still floating in legal world and I probably shouldn't even know about it. But I do. I know a lot of things and I shouldn't. About you. Gonna bop back and forth because that's what I do. Should finish this page so I can take a poo. Okay, I wrote that down as something to do, and I'll make sure to do that. I have to figure out or learn how to make AI art now, but that'll be worth it and fun. Oh, that was the other thing, somewhere in my head. Captain Barmy, part of that name has a bit of nostalgia for me, although yours is like Captain B Army. I wish, still coaching youth esports, ATM, Rocket League, and Knockout City for the first time this winter, building portfolio to get into the winners circles and level design career though. You gotta have a portfolio. But yeah, the first TV show that I worked on, which I have over there. It's hard to, I don't know if I can get you'll never see it with the lights, but there's a plaque-mounted poster on the wall. The first TV show that I worked on was a show called, at the time, Oliver's Under the Bed Adventures, about a kid that would go under his bed and have imaginary adventures with his toys and whatnot, and then eventually got shortened to Ollie's Adventures, where he just had adventures. They were less imaginary, and it was like, are his imaginary friends just real now? That could happen sometimes. Don't worry about it. Sometimes, you're just chillin', illin', gangster style, chillin', and everything's cool. Nothing to worry about. And then all of a sudden, you're just like, is this imaginary friend actually making decisions and causing trouble in my life over here? And yes, it's true. And they are. And I am. But, carry on. So, in the show, the bad guys were the Gushy Bears, which were just a variation on the Care Bears, which weren't a thing anymore. This was like, hey, imagine if the cartoon from the 80s came back, and now it's back, and everybody worked on the new episodes of Care Bears. And the other bad guys were the Barmies, B-A-R-M-Y or B-A-R-M-I-E-S, which was a small army of dinosaurs that kind of looked like mascot heads, so they were like Barneys, but they were called the Barmies. And the network was like, Barney is still a big deal, and you're going to get sued into oblivion. So get rid of those Barmies. And I think about them all the time. I thought they were an adorable design. My friend Sean did all the designs for the show. He always does the best designs. I think he's still designing half of Canadian television now. But yeah, that name is stuck in my head forever, and then I was just like, every once in a while, I'm just like, the word Barmy passes through my mind, and now in 2 instances. Really? That's an old name? But yeah, I like to pronounce things fun like that. Captain Barmy. Same as Jaderade. If I'm having a nice, cold, delicious Gatorade, I like pronouncing it Jaderade. My friend Gabe, who I don't see ever, but like once a year I kind of see her, but now forever I'm just like, oh, Jabe. Hello, Jabe. G-A-B-E, saying Gabe, but saying it as if the G is like a French J. And I'm pretty sure she usually didn't get what I was talking about. Like, what are you saying? You always say weird stuff. I sure do. It's just one of my fun ways of saying your name, which is Jabe. And of course, Powerade for Powerade, but that's kind of written like that on the bottle now, where it's sideways. Blinky's Barmy Army. Blinky's Barmy Army. I definitely have heard that referenced by someone. This Dara O'Brien's Irish, right? I think he's mentioned the Barmy Army on Mock the Week at some point. And I often don't look up what it is. I looked up what a Ribena was once, not too long ago. They kept referencing Ribeners. And I'm like, what could they be talking about? It sounds like maybe they're talking about a juice box, and it was a juice box. Or a mini sip, as the people in New Brunswick call it. English football. Okay, then I've definitely heard it a bunch of times then. Because they're always talking about their football. Yeah, the drink. Or a Capri Sun. This is what they call it in the States. Wait, did I give him an extra eye in the last one? I did not. Too many eyes. Too many eyes. Bubblegum that came with things was always the best, worst thing in the world. That initial, powdery, sugary flavor, so good. Well, lasted 4 seconds and then you were done. 1 a.m.? Oh my god. Yeah, get to sleep. It's almost 9 o'clock here, and I also want to stop and go to sleep. Kujin's popping in for a wee bit, and then he has to go mate. Not go mate, but you know, mate as in hello mate, hello friend, hi neighbor, howdy do. James Groman's work. I don't know. If I have seen it, probably a good chance I've been influenced by it. But it doesn't sound familiar of a name. But there's always the odd bit of art that passes by where it's like, hey, that's that thing I've always seen. Now I know a name that goes with it. Oh yeah, what's Milo saying in this last? Alright. Hands down now. Alright, still has the stripes. Hold up. Hold up. There! I did it! I roughed out a whole page. I'm gonna grab this link. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at someone else's work for a minute. Why not? Let's judge, compare, contrast, have fun. That's what art's for. It's not just for the money. Oh, crazy. Yeah, this doesn't look familiar at all. Wait, are these real? Is this all action figures? Movies, animation, toys, monster design, illustrations, sculpting. Can't be stopped. Don't even try. Can't stop, won't stop. Got some monsters. The turtles from... This is probably a video. This videos never play. I want to watch on the desktop. But the turtles from their tour, the action figure versions of those, which are way better than the real ones, but still wonky in just the right ways. Oh, Man-Thing looks delicious. Ooh, kind of a My Pet Monster thing. Little Show of Horrors. Mad About Halloween Monster by Jay Grauman. 12-inch custom hand-painted vinyl. Available, etc. That guy looks awesome. Very My Pet Monsterish. Oh, and these horror ones. This is very hard not to spend my money on this Raphael. Oh, this Raphael. He worked on. So yes, this guy's my hero then. This guy's my hero. I'm gonna hit follow. Follow my new hero. He's making a bunch of the toys that I never bought, but I thought really hard about them. What else we got? Is there anything... Has he made anything that I own? I feel like there's a very good chance. All right, that's enough looking at somebody else's stuff. Let's go put this back up here. Yes, Yasmira Foxotic pointed out that this guy would be right up my alley in monster designing stuff and cool NECA toys. All right, what time is this? I got 8 more minutes. I'm gonna start cleaning this up. Eight more minutes. Oh, there's really none. If it goes as long as I feel like it, it goes as long as I feel like it. It's mostly just, as far as drawing goes, like I just know that I spent all day doing stuff like this, and I'm just basically like, after 9 o'clock of doing more drawing, I know that I'm just losing dexterity, if you will. I'm losing my ability to keep my hands steady and just keep drawing. And so after like 2 hours, it just feels like that's when I should take a break of some kind. And of course, I grew up in the world of television. Where the idea of a show going on for random amounts of hours, just like, it doesn't quite compute with me. So somewhere in my head, I just feel like I need to have a schedule, and then if I go over it, then I can also, I either feel like, oh, I put in way too much time, or, I feel like, wow, I did a bunch of extra, and I feel good about extra. But I think I'm basically like, my base amount I want to be somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours for a stream. You know, if I'm not, like, since I can't do it for like 4 hours a day every day, because I have to work and I'm tired. If I was younger, if I was my younger self, I probably would just finish work and jump into just doing this for a few hours and just filling time because it's fun. And it helps me get pages done to make another book of comic strippings. But I think the mainest reason is I spend all day in this chair, and at a certain point in the day, I'm just like somewhere in my head, somewhere in my butt, my butt is like, if you sit in this chair for 2 more hours, I am going to explode and murder you. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'll go sit on the couch or sit on some other chair. Oh, absolutely. That is 100%. I can't agree with that sentiment more, Yasmira. Same with like any project, anything. Like this weekend. This weekend, my main goal, let's say, was I wanted to draw a Christmas card and some other specific art thing, but I also wanted to reorganize this shelf. So of course, I reorganized this shelf first, put up lights, and then I was like, I really want to fill in these spaces on the wall. Was putting up pictures on the wall forever. And then I was like, well, I could just quickly throw some paint on some canvases to fill in these wall gaps. And then I did that. Meanwhile, the card was just sitting there, my markers were sitting there, it's just waiting to be done, and I did 300 other things all weekend instead of doing that. And it is like there are some of us that are like that. I'm told it's an ADHD thing, where our brains are just kind of designed to want to do something else. Speaking of Game Grumps again, Aaron mentioned on one of the Game Grumpings that he learned in his therapy and whatnot, one of his exercises is basically, in order to get something done, he needs to also have a procrastination project so that the thing he needs to get done becomes his procrastination project, because it's like, you just can't quite get something done unless you're sidestepping and doing something else instead. And I don't know what, it's probably got to go back to childhood in some way, where it is like, you know, like, Mom, I'm bored. I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that. It's like, but you'll sit here and you'll help this little mustached man in a raccoon costume run through a field for 4.5 hours. Like, I know, it doesn't make any sense. And then the same thing is like, I'll sit down and play Fortnite for a few hours sometimes. Maybe not a few hours. But I'll play a game for a few hours every once in a while. And the whole time I'm just like, why don't I just stream this? I'm not, if I'm not going to talk, or maybe I'll talk, but I should stream it. But sometimes I'm like, I just want to be by myself and play video games. But it feels like a waste of time. And then I'll be like, well, I'm not going to play this game because that one should be streamed. I'll have a lot to say about that. Then I just never play that game. Like, I started playing Kirby and I was like, no. I want to stream this whole thing. Go as far as I can. And then I just haven't put it back in the machine. Just haven't played it just because it's like, well, that's become a project now, so now it's work. So I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to run around to Fortnite and shoot at strangers. And call that a good time. So it's very hard. It's very hard, just as a creative person, as a human being, to focus on certain things. Especially like my stop motions over here. What did I do? There we go. If I can move the camera over here, I'm pretty sure I've showed this 1,000 times before. But my little stop motion area here, where I've got Skeletor and a bunch of stuff set up. every time I think really hard about a stop motion project, which usually includes writing a short little script, recording the audio for it, and then it's like, well, now I have to sit down and make all the animation go to this audio, and 90% of the time I don't do those projects. I don't finish them because I'm like, well, that's become a big project in my head now. And again, it's also like, well, now I have to listen to that audio instead of putting on a podcast, putting on a YouTube and listening to other things. It takes away from my ability to split my focus into something off to the side while completing something or whatever. It's weird. I don't know. I'm aware of a lot of these things, and I can this is a pretty great Kirby coaster. Everything's a Kirby stream. When you have a Kirby dream, eating it up, open your mouth and suck it all in. And then spit it all over your friends. Next time we'll play the anagrams that that Daryl sent. That's the other thing I forgot. Remember how to draw. So yeah, so many times I will sit on the couch while I have a stop motion project written, recorded, all that stuff, and then I'm like, you know what I really want to do? Instead of this area where it's super set up, the lights are there, the good camera's there, it goes into my computer program that's just the greatest stop motion program ever. I'll be like, well, I don't want to deal with all the high-end stuff, so I go to the coffee table, take my iPad and phone, and set up another little stop motion thing, do it with gear that is not as amazing as this gear, just for the sake of a different venue, a change of scenery, a change of ideas, and something that's like, well, this is just for fun. This isn't a big project, and I don't know. I don't know if that's, again, I know that's my reasoning. That might not be yours, but I'm very aware of it sometimes, and a lot of the time, I genuinely don't have the ability to sidestep it. It is just like, it's just there like a wall where it's like, oh, you want to do something else? No, not until you finish that other project. Thought of like, but I don't feel like, and this one will take me 5 seconds. Like, and that 5 seconds that you spend on this one is 5 seconds into this other project you could be. So if you did that, suddenly that 5 seconds turns into 10 minutes because you'll get sucked in and you'll start enjoying that thing because that's why you thought of that project. I'm like, but I just want to do something that's a total of 5 seconds. Well, your new 5-second idea is still going to end up taking 20 minutes to 4 hours. So why not apply it over here? And that's where depression comes from. You know, just being stuck. Just making myself, you know, we do it all the time, making yourself stuck with this weird anxiety that, well, the big project feels too big now and I'm not going to do a good job at it, so what if I do a throwaway project to make myself feel good? And that's all I know. That's all I know. You know, sometimes you just gotta dance it out. Ba-ding! Facebook messages dinging in. My friend wants to say, I agree with you. But it's a sin what you said. It's not really mean, but I'm making fun of friends and how they behave on the social media scene. Oh, that was too much information, but you guys don't know what I'm talking about, so I am scot-free. Yeah, for all those things, like there's so many. Like, I don't know, probably one of my main problems is every time I've gone to a specific doctor or therapist and was like, this is what I do and this is my deal. This is what happens and this is how I feel. What should I do? What should I change? Is there a pill that I can take that will rearrange how I deal with all the things and how I feel strange? Can I just have fun and make rhymes and stop motion without feeling too much emotion? And they say that's quite evident to see that you have problems with ADHD. So they say it's like, oh, you're either, you have attention deficit where you're hyper focused on things and you don't want to focus on other things. Border personality disorder, they said. It was like, oh, or that's basically the same thing. And then one of the first or second people I went to, where they basically they laid out, well, this is all the things you can't do because of what's wrong with your anxiety and your all this stuff. And so you'd never be able to say, like, run a group of people or, do this. And it was like, oh, yeah, no, like, I literally was just supervising, like, 50 people. Like, how do you do that? You clearly have social anxiety disorder. You can't handle being around people. I was like, yeah, but I was raised by somebody who basically taught me, like, sometimes, buddy, you got to turn that off. Buddy, sometimes you just got to put that aside and do what needs to be done. Like, yeah, there's a literal pile of shit there. And, whatever you need is at the bottom of that shit. You don't want to touch that shit. You don't want to smell that shit. But listen, buddy, sometimes you just got to roll up your sleeves. You got to dig to the bottom of that shit, pull that key out, and then open that door and then go on your way. I'm pretty sure his story, my dad's reference point, was still shit, but it wasn't about putting your hand in it. But there have been those times where it is just like, somebody's disgusting puke, somebody's covered in their own disgustingness. And it is just like, yeah, I can't handle that. I don't want to deal with that. But there are circumstances where it's like, yeah, I can put it all aside and deal with things. And then once those things are dealt with and everybody's gone, then I literally will curl up in a ball and try not to cry or have a little bit of a cry over the fact that it's just like, everything is so overwhelming. Why do I have to keep doing things? Oh no, my phone's going off. There's another message. I don't even care if it's good or bad. I can't handle another message right now. And that's where I come in. Having some extra personalities floating around that you could cling to or blame things on is great. You just swing it over here and I'll be like, hey, let me talk to this guy. I'll take the phone on this count. I think I could do your voice pretty good. And I'll just be like, hey, excuse me. My name is Curtis. And why don't you take a little walk and think about what you're asking for before you come and ask me, because I'm not here to give you answers. That's your job. Please and thank you. So, so I'll just do that sometimes, and I'll just jump in. And if you need to relax, Ted's always here to be like, oh, hey guys, why don't you just relax, and think about skiing or surfing or something, It's all a good time, So sometimes you don't have to get so worked up about things. It's perfectly okay to, take a step back. So many therapists and doctors and just, professionals of all walks of life say, you can't just be working 100 miles an hour. Just like Aunt May said, you're not Superman, You're just a guy. Even Spider-Man can't take everything. He's not Superman. He gets tired. He's still just a guy, even with those superpowers. He's got to go home. He's got to make more web fluid, He's not just made of web fluid like he's some kind of Tobey Maguire. It's okay. Guys, it's okay. That a little too deep? That digging a little too deep into your mind? You're breaking yourself? You probably don't want to do that. But yeah, it's all true. It's all true and it's fine. Things they're true and they're fine. And some things are true and they're still fine. It's fine. Everything's, what's that Alanis Morissette song? There's an Alanis Morissette song that I'm totally thinking of. You had no choice, time and again. That's not the song though. You've already what? Nope, that's not it either. I can't think of it either. It's somewhere in there, but it's, don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Even if everything's on fire, it's still okay to be like, this sucks. Like, again, funerals, I'm guaranteed my whole family has some sort of level. They're on the spectrums, because my grandmother's funeral was just like, why is this the funnest day of my life? What's wrong with us? And it is just like, remember this time, remember that time. These are all crazy, wacky stories. Let's remember all this good stuff. And it's like, I thought we all came here to cry. Like, no, we're here to have a party for Nanny. Like, And same deal, like when my dad died, we sat there in the darkness for a minute. Dudes showed up. They picked him up, put him in a bag, took him out the front door. They said, do not look. Do not look at what we're doing. You will be upset by it. But then, my mom or whoever was like, somebody needs to help him with the door. So I was like, again, they just said you're going to be traumatized by what you're about to see. And I'm like, doesn't matter. That guy taught me sometimes you got to put aside your own trauma to hold the door for somebody. And I did, and there was something very viscerally, very internally, just like shocking to me, where it was just like, not only is that a person, like that's the person that raised me, that's the person who's been in my life for good or for bad for nearly 40 years. I forget how long ago it's been now, but for so many years of my whole life. I look like him in several ways. This is his nose for the most part. But then suddenly it was just a bag of something. And it was just like, that doesn't even seem like a person anymore. And they're still trying to like get it around the corner and down the stairs. And it's still just like, we're just getting rid of this bag of trash now. And it was like, this is severe to my innards. And then we sat there. Like, literally, like, my mom was sitting on the couch where she was sitting as she watched him die. And I wasn't there. My brother and myself weren't there for, like, literally a few minutes when it happened, where he was basically, like, trying. He didn't want us to see it happen. So he kept basically just forcing himself to live, which was insane. Because there was a bunch of weird things like that. And, oh, totally. I still do. Like, I still have these weird, thought processes in my head of just like, imagining my grandmother, or it's like my other grandmother. Like, I don't want her to die ever. She's paper thin and 1,000,000 years old, but still full of vim and vigor. But the idea of that ending is just like, no, that will immediately make me 7 years old, and I won't be able to really deal with it that well. Why did I say all that? Oh, yes. So, after they hauled him away like a bag of garbage, we sat there, and then we kept getting phone calls to, like, everybody who was just continually visiting. They all went over to my aunt's house, which is two houses away. So, they were just congregating, basically just building up a party of people waiting to come over and console us, because at this point it was like, hey, it happened. Leave us alone for a bit, okay? Yep, that's cool. We left the lights off, and we just sat there. And it was just silent for what felt like maybe a good hour. We just sat there, not quite crying. My mom and my brother are definitely the kind of people that are just like, we don't cry in front of each other. We go into a separate room. I'm like, I cry in front of my friends. I almost cry on the internet all the time. Like, guys, all right, that's fine. I won't upset you guys with my tears. Even though my dad just died in your arms, your husband? All right, that's fine. Being alive is weird. But we sat there for a minute in the darkness, just kind of like, taking in the moment, and, my mom just kind of being like, I don't know what we're supposed to do here, and just like, you think I know what we're supposed to do here? I'm processing this in somebody else's voice in my head right now. That was me. I'm always there sometimes, just being like, this is nuts, guys. I can't wait to go. Just yell about this in a different voice, which is my voice, but that's me, and I'm different. Being alive is super weird. And a little bit of time passed, and then in the quietness, in the somberness, the best thing, like my brother can do things and say things where I'm just like, can you just stop? Oh my God, as all siblings do. But there's so many of these moments where I'm like, you are my absolute hero for these moments. And this one was like, he'd been dead for, like I said, maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. I don't know. And we're just kind of sitting there like, what are we supposed to do? And my brother was like, I don't know how to say this without being a jerk, but is it, how long should I wait? Can I order a pizza? I'm hungry. can we order a pizza? Like, is that weird if we order a pizza right now? I kind of want to order a pizza and have pizza before everybody comes over. Is that weird? Like, the pizza place is just down the street. We love this pizza. We talk about this pizza forever. My dad barely likes pizza, but it's like, he was always like, just go run down the street, get a pizza. Bye. It's quiet. It's a good day. You know what? Good enough pizza. Except he doesn't say effing. And it was just like, how long do we have to wait for our dad to be dead before we can get a pizza? I've been craving pizza all day, and it's just like, please. 1, yes, order a pizza right now. 2, you gotta do it now because the pizza place is closing soon. And the thing about that pizza place, it didn't matter how much time had passed. My dad would always say, it's just like, call down Florence, order a pizza, and order this and this or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, I've known you for 30-some years of my life at this point, nearly 40 years. Like, I know what you like on a pizza because I don't like it. So, of course, we're always just going to order this thing. But he would always say, like, make sure it's for me. Make sure you tell them it's for me. You know, order the pizza and say it's for Ernie. And, like, I don't have to do that. I'm just going to call and order a pizza like somebody ordering a pizza. Is like, no. If you say, like, basically, if you say it's for me, the pizza's better and it gets here faster because everybody in town loves me. I've saved everybody's lives by fixing their cars at the most acceptable price, and/or because people will just bring me a bottle of rum. Here's some rum or vodka. Ernie, can you fix my car? Sure I can, buddy. Drinking and driving is cool. Surprisingly, that's not what killed him. Oh, man. But yeah, he got so frustrated because I refused to say, and it's for Ernie, because I'm just like, I don't want to say my dad's name while I'm ordering a pizza. Why am I doing this? Just bring us a pizza, guy. I just gave you the address, so you know they know who it is. Don't worry about it. But that was like just a delightful moment, and then all of my relatives, all of my dad's random friends, all of our neighbors just came and filled our living room while I still just sat in the same spot 3 inches away from where he just died. You know, my neighbor from across the street, the guy who, when he was getting his first house, it was Christmas time, and he's like, well, there it is. Like, you know, we don't have any furniture or anything, but we can move into the house, Ern. You know, I'm pretty excited. And my dad was like, what? Swanee? You gotta have an effing couch to sit on, Swanee. Because his last name was Swan, so we called him Swanee. He was like, let's go. He was like, I'll figure it out or whatever. So my dad somehow, he always managed to scrounge some money together. I'm sure borrowed from here and there or had some. And he's like, and this is like, he's telling me this, like just after my dad died or whatever. And it's like, I'm still staring at the couch, which to me still might as well have his shadow or his imprint on it. And he's like, yeah, he's like, your dad like just refused the idea of me moving into my new house with my new wife. I don't think they had a kid yet, but he was just like, nah, buddy, you gotta have a TV. No, he's like, you can put your pizza on a cardboard box. You don't need a table. That's fine. Put it on whatever you got. He's like, but you gotta sit on a nice comfortable couch in your own house, buddy, and watch your TV. You got a TV? That's fine. Let's make sure you got a couch. He was beyond interesting. Like, there are 10 million stories, and a lot of them don't make any sense. I felt weird, like, as he was dying. I tried to sneak record him telling some of his stories a few times, but just couldn't quite get it. Also, he didn't want to be recorded, didn't want anything to do with that stuff. But yeah, you know, he was a troublemaker in many respects, from childhood to adultness. But deep down, all of his nonsense, his chicanery and trouble, was always for the reason to make somebody's life better. Like, and he's the one who taught me, you know, and she's like, I hate this person, they're awful. And he's like, you know what you should do to that guy? Make him a pie and give it to him. Like, what? I just told you this guy's the worst. He's ruining my life. He's like, yeah. You know what would really break his brain? If you did something super nice for him. He wouldn't know what to do with himself. And he can't fight back against it. What's he gonna do? How dare you? And show up and toilet paper your house? Like, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. Then you can take him to jail. You can take him to court. This guy attacked me. And what's he gonna say? This person brought a cake? Brought a pie over to me? because they wanted to be a good neighbor, like, it'll ruin him. This guy's definitely used to people being mean to him. That's why he's so mean. So do something like that. And, and then the old adage or whatever that he definitely stole from, because I've heard it in movies and TV, where it's just like, see that fellow over there? That fellow over there owes me $40. And every time he sees me, he sneaks off and takes away and makes sure he doesn't run into me so he doesn't have to pay me back that $40. And, and him saying / characters on the movies that I've definitely seen it in, that he, falls asleep watching TV and thinks, like, this happened to me. Like, no, it didn't. You just drink a lot, and you think the TV is your memory sometimes. But it really stuck with me so many times where it was like, I just became completely fine with lending or giving people money at a certain point where I was just like, yeah, if they don't pay me back, either I don't care, and I'm glad that they have the money and I've helped them, which I've done 1,000 times, and that's good, or they're a jerk about it and they try to avoid me. And, his / the movie's adage was, it only cost me $20 to keep this person that doesn't even want to deal with me out of my life. So that's fine. And I was just like, wow, like, that is a good investment. And it's like, people who are bad at borrowing money, lend them the money, and you're paying them to leave you alone. Maybe I will finish. Oh, it's already 9:30. Oh, that's the other reason too, is I have to, like, chill out and go to sleep so that when I wake up in the morning, my hand isn't all cramped up from drawing all night, because I've got to do it again to pay my bills in the morning. But yeah, and also, sitting on the floor, I didn't move from that spot for the longest time. I just sat there and basically waited for everyone to leave, because I'm just like, I feel surrounded by so many people, and it is just like, guys, my dad just died. I gotta find a way to cry that's not around my mom, that's not around my brother, that's not around anybody else. So I have to wait for everybody to go, because also, guess where I'm sleeping tonight? On the couch where my dad just died. That's where I sleep in this place. And then when I go home for Christmas, it's still the same couch. It's the most comfortable couch in the world to sleep on. But then I sit there just like, drop a beat. This isn't real neat. Gonna get some sleep where my dad has died. It's years ago and I had to cry. Nope. It's years ago and nope. Years ago and I have cried. And I won't. No, I got no rhymes about it. But yeah, it's very weird at Christmas time where my mom was like, oh, you're not going to stay for several days? Like, no. I don't want to sleep in my brother's gross bed where he sleeps. And every extra hour that I sleep on this couch, as comfortable as it is, it still just reminds me of, a deathbed. Because it is. Can I go home and sleep on my own couch / bed? Also, that's where all my toys are. There's no toys here. And if my mom ever watches these, I don't know what she'll think. She thinks I'm weird and I talk a lot. But she mostly thinks it's adorable and doesn't understand a lot of the words that I say. Because I talk in references to movies and shows that she doesn't like. Same as she talks in references to shows and commercials that I don't care for. Now, the time I took to preface that by mentioning that I hope my mom doesn't hear what I'm about to say, I forgot what I was about to say. Oh God, no. I did create a Discord at some point, and then I'm just like, this is bananas. So I can't remember. It might be a Mr. Cartoons Discord. I can't remember if I renamed it. I only open Discord is if I'm doing work for a streamer for Streamlabs that's communicating through Discord. And it's the only time I open it because it's too much. It's too much communication all over the place. And I'm like, this is bananas. Just email me. I can't take this much stuff. I'm 40. I'm an old man and I need to slow down. I want to wear a Fortnite crown. That's the youngest thing that I do, except buy toys and animate them for you. Makes sense, and that's kind of fun. I'm still sitting on my sore bum. I'm gonna get a new chair again someday, although this one feels fine. My mom. What was I saying? Everyone's dead, and there's my mom on the couch, and what did she say? What did she do? Yeah, exactly. I was in like 2 servers, and one was like, you're missing more communications from this person. I'm like, am I? They're mostly just talking about programming, so it's kind of fine if I miss it. And I also set it up at a time when everybody was speaking in leech speak, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't translate any of this. Excuse me. I cannot remember what I was going to say. It wasn't anything mean or weird about my mom or anything. It's just something about me as related to my mom. It's just not coming back to me now. See, now if I go back to the stream later on and look at it as it played through, I'll be like, oh, of course, I meant to say this thing once I hear the lead up again. But I lost it. The train has left the station, and now I don't know. I don't have patience to remember, though. I think I said though twice. That rhyme is ruined and not nice. My rhymes are weak, and that's okay, because I'm just here to play. Lost the beast, because it's kind of drifting all over the place. try to think about something else, but I can't. I can't. Pride 50, Pride 50. 50 units of pride. Rainbow flags inside. Everybody, you can be good though. People you loved have died. 50 units of pride. Not trying to be snide. Twitch RPG? I genuinely always forget about bits being a thing, even though, like, every few days I have to animate different, bits alerts for people. I'm like, oh yeah, bits. What a weird thing. Like Disney dollars or tokens. Does that gold #1 mean you're the #1 bit master? The master of all bits? Oh my god, 100 bits! Holy snaps! Didn't even realize. Thanks! I thought Pride 50 was, just some action you had saved from some other, stream or something from when it was like Pride Week or something. That's amazing! You're amazing! Everyone's amazing. Oh yeah, haven't saved in a while. That's why. That's why everything should be favorite. Make it wonky. Boop. Crazy hands. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Save. Okay. Thank goodness for autosave, because I don't think I did it on purpose for 2 hours. If you're gay, that's okay. Don't pretend that you're straight. You could be who you are any day of the week. You are unlike the others, so strong and unique. We're all with you. We're all with you. I love that song. What's annoying is sometimes I get really annoyed with the autosaves. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to work over here. I'll save it when I'm ready. Leave me alone, computer. And then when it's like, oh, the computer crashed. Well, no big deal. You've been autosaving. And then it's just like, hey, here's your autosave. It's from like 20 minutes before the last time you actually saved. Like, well, what were all those autosaves? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just here to ruin your life. Like, God, we'll stop that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's put one in here as well. And why not? Yeah, that's fine. We got to the end of the playlist. Oh my gosh. It's like, why is it so quiet over here? Alright, I don't know what I just did. Okay, computer. I was trying to think. I definitely didn't listen to a lot of Radiohead on purpose, but every one of my friends during the OK Computer phase were huge into Radiohead, and I think it was just because they were so just like, no, this is the greatest, you have to love this, or I'm just like, well, now I definitely can't love it. You've gone too crazy. But I know there's one of the music videos was animated, and I remember like trying to watch that all the time. I always just tried to watch animated music videos. Kid A? Is that an album or a song? But there was a minute where it was like, all right, I'm gonna fill. I did put some Radiohead in my playlist when that became a thing. But now, when I do hear it in the background, even if whether I recognize it or not, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this is Radiohead. Like, this song is great. And pretty much all their songs are fantastic because they are kind of long, usually kind of more epic songs that tell like just kind of an audio, whether there's lyrics or not, it still just kind of tells some sort of audio story in that it, it goes from slow and quiet to big to, it has most of them seem to have an ambiance, an energy, a flow to them, as opposed to just completing a song. You know, again, I think that's why people like them, because it's like they were consummate artists, like a strong band, as opposed to I'm just doing this to make some money. You know, we hired some writers to write hit songs, and we put out those songs. But I know that at least one of them, I can't remember which album it was, but I definitely had at least one of them in CD form and listened to it from beginning to end. But that was so very, very long ago. All right, so I'll add some slight bit of shading to my hair and beard later, and the dialogue, and I'll put this up on Instagram, and then, like I said, eventually put it into a book. But yeah, if you go to mrcartoons.com, there's a link to the bookstore at the top or somewhere on the side. I definitely put it everywhere. There's some banners towards the bottom that say books, and there's I forget what's on there now, but there's at least one of these comic strip books of just the Me and Milo that I did a few years ago now, and I feel like there's two of them, but I can't remember if I left the other one up there because it's just very short, and it just, to me, it's not really worth the money. But I feel like there's two of them for some reason. But I might be just keep thinking about this one as being the second one. But yeah, then that just links to a Lulu store. I think also one of them might be on Amazon as well. Actually, it might only be on Amazon.com, but not CA. But I'm not sure. But anyway, the links to all of them should be at mrcartoons.com. One time I was on the subway back home. I've never been on a subway. And the intro to I Might Be Wrong started playing. And it's cool bass or guitar riff in the beginning. And I look up and see the dude from Santa Monica that performs in all silver, including silver body paint, just walking down the middle of the subway car. And it was like the soundtrack to a weird drug trip in a movie or something. That sounds awesome. That definitely, there's certain music you listen to where it definitely just becomes, this is the soundtrack to what's happening. There are a couple songs that when I'm walking down the street that pretty much the only thing in my head, it's not the music from Baby Driver, but that beginning part where Baby Driver is like just bopping down the street and jumping on stuff. I'm just like, I want to do that. I want to make that part of that movie except about me. when certain songs come on where I'm like, if everybody could hear what I'm hearing and envision how cool I would look if I jumped up on this little piece of concrete and shimmied down it, yeah, it would look ridiculous, and it would be. But if it was shot cinematically, it would be amazing. Oh, man. Too bad. What's his face ruined that movie, but everybody else in that movie, besides the guy who ruins movies, so good. So good. Oh, such a, again, visual and audible feast, that movie. I think about it every once in a while. I listen to old podcasts sometimes if I really want to focus and I have to listen to something or watch something I've heard before. And I listen to old Comedy Bang Bang episodes, and the episode where John Hamm is on it talking about Baby Drivers is like, this is great, but it's so weird because it's before everyone hated, I can't even think of his name anymore, Spacey, before everybody hates Spacey, that it was just like, oh, that movie was so good, and the build-up was so good, and everybody in it's so good, and Spacey is so good at playing a creep that seems like, do you do awful things when no one's looking? And yes, of course he does. That's why he's so good at this. Anyway, I'm going to close the music app here, and I've meant to drink a lot of this juice, and I haven't. Too much talking, just too much talking, and getting thirsty, and now your throat's gonna be all dry tomorrow. Shut up. So yeah, I gotta drink some juice and hydrate. Maybe see if I have any snacks floating around. Charge my phone back up, and this Friday, all afternoon, me and Clyde should be on stream. We're gonna try and get Clyde in there as well. Oh God, yeah, the greatest actor, horrible person. Oh man, Me and my friend and my other friend, we stood out in the cold for hours because she desperately wanted to meet and see Spacey and get his autograph. And he never came out of the building, and we finally gave up and was just like, who even likes Kevin Spacey this much? And then I started seeing Kevin Spacey movies. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. And then it's just like, oh man. Oh man. But yeah, Streamlabs channel on Friday in the afternoon, much earlier than this stream. And of course, I'll be back next Tuesday, I'm sure. I don't remember when Christmas break is. I think it's at the end of that week. I have to get better at looking at calendars and remembering the days. But yeah, everybody have a great day. Have a great week. Have some great holidays. Be nice to the meek. Try not to be too bullying of the weak. That's what makes you strong. And don't be a sadistic freak. Those are my rhymes and how I'm ending the show. That's what we do. That's how it go. Talk at you next Tuesday with Milo and friends. And maybe I'll apologize and make some amends for the things that I've said today that weren't cool, but I'm sure that they were. I'm just being a fool. We're having lots of fun. And next week we'll see. I'll try to make a Barmy shirt design for everyone to see. I'm getting tired. But yeah, thanks, Yuzumira. Thanks, everybody else. There's still a few people floating around, lurking and whatnot, which I have zero problem with. I will still talk whether anybody talks to me or not. Oh, I missed him. He's behind the microphone. Shy guy with confettis in your eye. But yeah, again, thanks a lot. There's merch of different kinds at mrcartoons.com. I've got some post-it notes here of merch designs I want to do. I have notes of more merch I want to do. But again, I spend all week drawing other people's merch that I'm like, I've already drawn so much merch this week. I'm technically selling all kinds of merch for people, just not for my own store. And it still makes me pretty happy. I make enough money to pay my bills, so I don't feel that bad. But someday, I would like to be one of these maniacs that's like, hey, here's my new merch. Oh my god, I made almost $100,000 in 2 weeks. Like, what? What are you talking about? That's a true thing of one streamer where it's just like, I didn't design their artwork. I just like, that guy is making, how much? How much money? I said, what? This hasn't even been 2 weeks and that's bananas. That's bananas McGee. But anyway, that's all from me. Me too. Goodbye, everybody. We'll talk to you all next week, of course.
I will only speak if I wish to speak, or I'll show up and I'll be the freak, and I don't even care who I have to seek to turn on the computer, because I'm just a tiny little guy. Action figures.
All right, Ripley. Hey, sweetest angel. Let's go to the credits and put on some pajamas. Have a good night. It's been fun. Highlight of my day, besides my numb bum, sitting on this chair. I can't compare. Every chair I get is never good enough. Hey, this one has an extra bit of padding.